Hey guys and gals, it's a Red Baron 59 here, and today I have for you everything that I ordered, and I'll be talking about what I ordered, what you have to build a PC, why I chose the parts that I chose, and I'll be linking in the description below some websites that'll be there for you to compare different items like CPUs, graphics cards, things like that. Websites I like to go to that I think the information is reliable. I'm pretty knowledgeable on software. I know my way around that, and I know a decent amount about hardware, but software is really where I shine. And there are a lot of people that every single day their website's basic goal is just to compare different parts. They have access to them. I can only say to what I've used, but these people, they have like deals with the chipset manufacturers and things like that, so they get a hold of every one of these and they can post the benchmarks and test, and they can actually say, we've handled this, we've compared it, we've seen what it clocks at, what it super clocks at, overclocks at, its base performance, and what you can expect from each device. So these websites are a great tool for people that obviously, like myself, do not have contracts with these big companies, but know what they want. And so, I'll kind of link all that in the description below for you and let you take a look for yourself. Anyway, what I'm going to do moving forward as well with this series is I'm going to go ahead and show you everything I have here. The next video, I'm going to show me putting everything together, showing you how simple it is to actually install all the components within the tower. And then I'm going to go over in the next set and go ahead and stream myself setting up the OEM and then rip that straight from the stream to my YouTube. So it may be a pretty long video. I may perhaps break it down into two portions. I'll kind of see how long it takes me to go ahead and set up the BIOS and install the OEM. It's been a little while since I've done something like that, but it's still pretty simple, and I'll go through and show you. I mean, even the most basically technological individuals can do what I'm about to do. It really isn't that complicated. Anyway, also please drop me a like. It really does help this information get out there. And comment if you have any questions about anything I go over, and again, subscribe if you want to see the next couple of sets of it. I will also be posting my first day comparison of the BenQ RL series MLG UMG monitor to my Asus monitor and what I think about it, personally, my experience with it the first day. I was pretty impressed with it, but I do have some things to say. Anyway, guys, my co-star is with me again, so bear with me on that as well. And also, I don't have the best camera, like I've said before, so just bear with me on my camera work. And we're going to go ahead and kind of start going over everything we have here. This dude is the pride and joy. Now, this is the next Phantom. This is a super tower. This is one of the larger towers. And you have to keep in mind, so the reason why I chose a super tower, like you'll see right here, this is my old PC, the one I'm replacing. This is a mid-sized tower. It's got a decent motherboard and things, but it's just not as powerful as I want it to be. It's actually pretty sweet. It's got some blue LED lights and stuff in there. But you'll notice, top to bottom, it is not that big. Again, the forearm test. It's about as tall as my forearm. And this guy is way taller than my forearm. And, I know. And you can kind of see it's pretty sweet. In the front we have a couple of switches, and all of these guys are going to be for the fans. And here we have, excuse me, Chuggy Buggy, the power button, and we have all of our USB ports. We have a 3.1, or we have a 3.1, a 3.0, and a 2 in the front, and they just come standard on this guy. This is supposed to be a basically toolless one, as you can see. I can open this guy up right here, and all these pop out. Let me get access to the inner portion. This pops right off. You can see as well, it comes with a 200mm fan, 120. I think there's 180 in the back, and then there's another fan in there as well. So this guy already comes pretty set up with it. It's got everything kind of compartmentalized and separated from each other within there. The reason for that being, for larger PC builds like this, a lot of times it may be running a little hotter, like mine is going to be, and so it separates things, has a fan for each individual section, and then one for the general section, and just kind of gives it more room. This even opens up on the front. It allows you access to everything, and it's what you call a toolless tower. Basically, you're gonna have to just untwist things with your fingers, twist things in with your fingers, and so it's a pretty straightforward tower to use. That's why I chose this one. Now, moving forward, we have Bitdefender. Now, this is an antivirus software. It is made by the makers of BitTorrent. It is specifically geared towards people who download a lot of things it is important to keep in mind what kinds of things you will be doing on the internet, and use that as a basis for purchasing your particular internet antivirus software. We have right here the Kingston HyperX Fury. This is one of the better RAM cards on the market. These are a 16 gig set, so two 8 gig cards. Now, you really don't need anything more than 16 gigabytes of RAM. There is really no game on the market right now that needs more than that. So unless you're using a specific program that's, if you're doing something, you'll know if you're doing something that's going to need 32 gigs of RAM, because the PlayStation 4, in case you don't know, only has 8 gigabytes of RAM. And it can handle pretty much every single game that's going to be on PC at this point. Almost all of them. Now here we have Seagate's. This guy right here is a solid state and an HDD hard drive. It is 2 terabytes of HDD and 256 gigabytes of SSD. It is a hybrid hard drive. Obviously the SSD is for programs you're going to be using a lot, and the HDD is just storage for general usage, like video, music, whatever else, games, etc. Things that you don't need to necessarily load as quickly, but it's a 7500 RPM 3.5 millimeter hard drive. Obviously you want a bigger hard drive, a 3.5 over a 2.5 if you've got room for it, and unless you have like one of the micro ATX towers, you're probably gonna have room for it. Now this guy is your OEM. This is Windows 8.1. It has a thing for 10. You have to have one of these when you set up a new PC. You're gonna need an OEM. Now, obviously, you could choose to run dual or even multi OEMs, but that's for, again, specific needs. You're gonna know if you need that. You can run Windows primarily, and then have Mac OS X for Windows. You can have Linux and BD Unix operating systems for specific things as well. Now this guy is an Intel Core i5 4590. It is an LGA 1150 socket. That it refers to the size and basically the type of motherboard you're going to need to be able to install that on. Now this guy is rated right now as the number 7 benchmarking CPU on the market. Essentially, out of all the CPUs you can purchase right now, this is the 7th best on the market, which is saying something. It is, for the dollar value right now on what you spend, rated as the 3rd best price per value CPU on the market. So basically, processing power versus dollar spent. And so this guy also has a lot of features specifically for gaming, and is considered pretty much the best budget, well, you can't call it budget, but best realistically priced CPU on the market. Hey, I know, Chuggy. 1 second, baby. That is showing off his stuff. And anyway, right here we have the coolant fan. This is for this. You have to have a coolant fan for this, or your PC will not run. Most of them have fail-safe safety features that will turn it off if you have a non-functioning CPU fan. You will most likely not even be able to turn it on. Let alone, if it does let you turn it on, you're in big trouble. You will burn up your PC if you try to use it without that coolant fan. Anyway, right here we have a 750 watt EVGA Supernova power core. This guy is because of these. I have to have this. I'm going to be running 2 of these in Crossfire. Possibly. I have a second one. I haven't even bothered to open it. That's why I don't even have it up here, because I want to see how this one works on its own. Now this number right here, PCIe 3.0, that refers to the size of input that this has, and you have to make sure you have a motherboard that fits that input slot. Now this motherboard is a Z97 series, which means it is made for this type of Intel processor. It is not made for AMD chipsets. You cannot use an AMD processor on this type of motherboard. So you have to make sure when you're purchasing your motherboard that it's going to have the right socket that's going to accommodate the CPU unit you want, the right size socket for your graphics card. As you can see on this motherboard's box, it says supports Intel inside core, Intel chipset Z97. It even says on the box it will only be able to use this. Now this one has some pretty cool features. Audio boost. It has some things for making your sound as good as possible. Sound Blaster Cinema. It is
It makes it possible to use multiple graphics cards or GPU, which means graphics processing unit. Obviously, CPU means computer processing unit. And then you have the OC Genie, overclocked in 1 second. Basically, this thing is made to overclock. It's made to superclock. It can do all these things. It has, gaming device ports. And basically, it's made out of military class components, high quality. Oh my gosh. High quality, high endurance PC components. It has Intel's Ethernet setup on it as well. And also I have, last but not least, the My Passport 1 terabyte. Now if you're wanting to back up things and move things from your old PC to this one, you will need some sort of memory item with enough space to put everything that you want on there. Most people, I think, can move everything they've got in a terabyte. I mean, sure, some guys probably can't, but most people can. And so I just have a terabyte hard drive for this, and I'll also be using it for school as well, so it serves a dual purpose. It's not going to be a one-time use and done. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for now. Stay tuned for the next video later today. I'll also be posting my day one with the BenQ. Again, please drop me a like if you enjoyed the video, if you found it useful. Drop me a comment if you have any questions about the items I chose. I can go more in depth under what each thing is, what exactly it does, why I chose the parts I chose. MSI is, like I said last time, the best on the market right now for gaming PCs. And also some of the things I chose were just for general performance. But I will see you in the next video next time, guys. Anyway, it's Red Baron 59 signing off. I appreciate everybody that tunes in, and I hope to see you next time. Peace out.